Hi guys, my name is Isa and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about feeling lonely in your 20s. Let's get started. The last time that I felt lonely, it was 2021. Recently moved to Canada. I really struggled to make friends when I got here. I was constantly trying to make small talk with my classmates. I was asking people, do you want to hang out? Do you want to be friends? Do you want to do this? I actually did hang out with a few people and it was like a nice hangout, but conversation just felt forced. It just never flourished into a friendship. But I mean, it's 4 years later. I'm living in a whole different city. I look so different. I am so different. All the people around me are different. And I'm still feeling lonely. Like, that's just crazy. You know, the situation is so different. The characters are so different. And I'm feeling the same way that I was 4 years ago. And like, I've been thinking about this for the last couple of days. But today it just hit me. I don't have a person. I don't have someone I can call my person. I don't mean someone in a romantic sense. Whenever I think of my person, I think of a friend, you know? And I feel like I don't have that. I don't think I have the kind of friendships that I would love to have right now. I have friends who I can go to parties with. I have friends who I can go to coffee shops with. I have friends who I can go watch a movie if I want. I have friends who, if I'm having a fight with like my family or my boyfriend, they're gonna listen to me, you know? But I guess I'm looking for the person who wants to connect as deeply as I want to connect. I hate surface level friendships. I hate low maintenance friendships. I want to connect with people so deeply. I want you to see my heart and I want you to understand my heart and want to be with me in the same way that I want to see your heart and understand your heart and be with you. And I want to have deep conversations and I want to know why you get upset about small things. I want to know how your childhood was. I want to know what are your dreams in life. I want to know all the things that you're scared of telling someone. And I think in the same way, I just want someone in my life who I can tell those things. And I just have this sensation of, out of the friendships that I have right now, I want so much to come out of them. But in the same way, I feel like they don't want that much to come out of the friendship. It seems like I want more from the friendship than the other person on the other side. And that is just very discouraging for me because I don't feel this in just one friendship. I feel this in all of my friendships. I feel like no one in my life has a desire to connect with me. I feel like everyone just already has that one person or that one group of friends who they can do all of that stuff, or they simply just don't want that kind of dynamic in their everyday life. I feel sad, I feel upset, I feel lonely. I feel like I look around and I can't really tell people that I feel lonely because nobody around me looks lonely. Everyone has friends, everyone has someone who they can hang out with, everyone has someone who, when I look at them, they seem happy and they seem like they're in a great point in their friendship. And I just feel like I don't have that. And I love that for them, you know, I love that they have that. And I just wish they had that with me as well. You know, I wish it was all of us together feeling connected and feeling happy. And it just sucks that I feel lonely. And I also feel like I cannot talk about this with anybody in my life right now. I want someone to be as curious with me as I am with other people. I feel like I'm a very curious person. I feel like I am someone who loves to share everything. And with the friendships that I have at the moment, I've been so discouraged to share all of the things that I want to share because I just feel like it's not reciprocated, it's not wanted, it's just not the dynamic that they want. And that's completely okay, you know, like there's nothing wrong with how you want your friendship to be. But I also feel like I cannot fully be myself. I cannot fully express myself the way that I want. I cannot fully be who I want to be in my friendships, and I feel discouraged. At the same time, I feel like it's not fair for me to feel this way because I do have people in my life who love me, like my sister. I think she tries really hard to be my best friend. I think that's just like a sister thing. And of course, I see her as my best friend. Like, she's my sister. I see her more than just a best friend, you know? And like I see my mom and she wants to talk with me every single day and she wants to know about my day and she wants to catch up. And my grandmother, if I could call with my grandmother 3 hours every single day, she would love that, you know? Like I do have people in my life who want to be consistent and who are curious about me and what's going on in my life. But I'm just feeling the lack. I think I'm just really focusing on the people who don't. So that's why I feel like it's unfair for me to feel lonely, because I do have people in my life who do want that connection with me. And for some reason, I'm looking for that connection in the people who don't want that with me. I'm looking for it in my friends instead of my family. Because I feel like at the end of the day, it's your family, you know, like, of course, the ideal family, of course, they want to connect with you. Of course, they want to spend time with you. So it doesn't feel like it's like intentional, like they're going out of their way to be with you because they're already family. And just like expanding on that, on how it feels unfair because I do have people in my life. The friends that I currently have right now, I know that they care for me and I know that they love me. They probably don't love me as deeply as they would love me if they knew more of me, but I know that they care for me. But I just feel like, I don't know if it's the same with you guys or the people around you, or if it's just like what I'm noticing around me, but I feel like people think loving is enough. Me loving you is enough. I don't need to do more than that. I don't need to go out of my way to express my love for you. I don't need to go out of my way to remind you that I love you. I simply love you and that's enough. And that's nice. You loving me, that's nice. I thank you. But I just wish I had people around me who had the same love language as me. Because they either love me without expressing their love to me, or they love me while they're expressing their love in their own love language. And that just puts me in a situation where I have to like constantly remind myself, oh, this is them loving me. This is how they show their love. Them doing this specific action, that's them loving me. And you know, at the end of the day, there's a lot of love around me and a lot of love around you. Love can come from different sources and in different shapes, but I just want to be loved in my own love language. I just want someone to think, oh, Isa is words of affirmation. Let me just text her and remind her that I love her. Let me just text her and remind her that I'm so happy that she's in my life. Like, I don't have that. I feel like crying now. I don't have that. And I just feel tired of constantly reminding myself, yes, this person loves me even if they are not speaking my love language, or this person loves me even if they're not expressing their love in their love language, like they're just not expressing it but they love me. I just want to be able to not think and not have to remind myself that I'm loved and just feel loved. I wish that I was loved in my own love language, and I wish I was loved loudly. I feel like crying. I wish I was loved loudly and without me asking. And feeling lonely and feeling like I don't have that in my friendships makes me feel rejected. You know, makes me feel like no one is really choosing me, or no one is really going out of their way to express their love to me. And I want to isolate myself, you know. I was journaling about this and I just felt in my heart, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to text anybody. If anybody texts me, I'm just going to ignore them. I'm not. I'm done. I'm out. I don't want to talk with people. I just want to focus on myself and pretend I don't feel lonely, and just go to work and just like pretend until I don't feel it anymore. This is crazy. I was not this emotional when I was journaling, so I don't know why I'm emotional recording. But as much as I want to isolate myself, I realized that's just gonna make it worse. You know, that's just gonna like distance me from the friendships that I do have, and it's going to just make me like more depressive about it. It's going to upset me more and remind me more that I'm alone. And in a way, I feel like I want to isolate while I'm waiting for someone to come and be that friend for me. I want someone, I want one of my friends to just make me feel less lonely, to feel that need. And that's when I realized I should be the one meeting that need. I shouldn't be waiting for someone else to come into my life and meet that need. I should be doing it for myself. I think I'm in between because a part of me, I don't want to do all the self-love. I don't want to meet my own need. I want someone else to meet my need. I want someone else to make me feel loved and make me feel less lonely and just do it for me. Because in my mind, I think self-love is not the same as receiving love from someone else. You know, the same way that some people think friendship love is not the same as romantic love. And then the other part of me is like, well, I can either sit here and wait for someone to come into my life and meet my need, or I can just simply meet my need while I'm waiting for someone to come into my life. Because we do have that option, you know, like I do have that option of meeting my own need. I do have that option of connecting with myself and having deep conversations with myself and being curious about myself and doing with myself everything that I wanted to do with someone else. Something that I've always thought when I come to this conclusion in different areas of my life is, but self-love just doesn't feel the same as love coming from another person. And you know, that may be true, but to be honest, I don't really know. Because I don't think I've ever tried to meet my own needs enough to not need someone else to meet them. So I don't think I have a leg to stand and say self-love is inferior to the kind of love I receive from a romantic partner or a friend. I don't know. I don't think I've given myself enough self-love to actually know if it's different. And I don't think I've had really deep connections with friends or like boyfriends to even know, yeah, this is better than self-love, you know? And when you do go out of your way to meet that need and make yourself feel less lonely, you're going to be less focused on that emotion. You're going to feel less lonely. You're going to be less focused on the things that make you feel less lonely, you know? Like I would be meeting my own need. I would be hanging out with myself. I would be curious with myself, that I wouldn't really have enough time to think about how a certain friend didn't invite me for a certain hangout, because I'd be like so busy with like my own stuff. And I feel like at the end of the day, if the goal is to feel loved, it doesn't really matter where the love comes from. It doesn't really matter if it comes from another person or if it comes from yourself. Because if you just want to feel loved and you just want to feel less lonely, self-love can do that. You're low-key abandoning yourself when you focus so much on other people. So being focused on you and just loving yourself will fill that void, will meet that need. So at the end of the day, if you do focus on self-love, you're going to feel love. And I think that's the core of feeling lonely. Feeling like you're not loved or feeling like you're not chosen. And I guess just think about it. Why would someone come into your life and love you if you don't even love yourself? Why would someone come and be curious about you if you're not even curious about yourself? Sometimes we're too focused on one specific kind of love that we're looking for that we forget all the different kinds available around us. That's probably not the advice you wanted to hear. That's definitely not the advice that I wanted to hear. I definitely just wanted to hear, I'm gonna get a friend soon and I'm gonna stop feeling like this and everything is gonna be different. But I don't know when I'm gonna get a friend. I don't know when I'm gonna connect with someone. It's not something you can force. It's not something you can rush. If it's a genuine connection, it will come in the right time, at the right place, with the right person. And that may be in the next week, in the next few months, maybe in the next year, you know. And obviously that's not something I love to hear and probably not something you want to hear. I guess think about it. If you are meant to meet your person in 1 year from now without your knowledge, you can either have a full year of feeling lonely and feeling unloved and focusing on all of the things that you're not receiving, or you could spend a whole year loving yourself and focusing on the people who do love you the way that you want to be loved, just meeting your own need. And that's like a whole year filled of love. So I guess, how do you want to spend your year? If you feel lonely, even if you're in your teens, in your 30s, in your 40s, I think this is something everyone goes through, even if they're not vocal about it. Like, the same way that I look at the people around me and I would never guess any of them being lonely, I don't think they could guess that I'm feeling lonely right now, you know? I'm not gonna walk out on the street and be like, I feel lonely, I feel lonely, I feel like I don't have friends. Like, I'm not gonna say that. You know, like, you'd never guess that from looking at me in public, because I'm usually like super bubbly and laughing at everything. Something that I do want to say before I end this video is that as I was journaling and I was thinking about all the different people in my life that do want to love me in a loud way, my family, God was also between those people. God is someone who wants to know about my day and wants to know about my plans and cares about the things that I care about and wants to spend time with me. And I think sometimes I underestimate that, or I take it for granted, because I'm so focused on the physical sensation, like having the person in front of me, my friend in front of me, and receiving that love from someone in front of me, that I forget that God is right there. Maybe not physically in front of me, but he's right there and he's ready to be there for me. And maybe, or for sure, if I stopped taking it for granted and I actually started pouring into God in the same way that he wants to pour into me, I would 100% feel less lonely. If I think about it, maybe I'm feeling lonely right now so I can connect with God. And then maybe feeling lonely is not such a bad thing because it brought me closer to God. You know, it really depends on how you want to view the situation, just your mindset in general. Like, you can be like, this can be like a really awful moment where you feel lonely and it just sucks, or it can be a moment where you find love in different places and find love within yourself and are just there for yourself. You know, it's your choice. It's my choice. Let's choose wisely. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for listening, and stay tuned for next week's episode.